Tonight, sadness over the closure of a special needs school, and drilling in the Great Australian Bight faces another hurdle.
With the latest from around the region, your nightly news with Louise Hedger begins now.
Good evening. The father of a former student at Miriam High Special Needs School says he's sad to hear the facility will soon close its doors and has raised concerns about future children with special needs and their families. The council making the decision to close the centre after dwindling enrolment numbers.
A centre that's helped some of our most vulnerable for 36 years, now with a remaining lifespan of only 6 more weeks.
Oh, it's a bit of a gut punch, really.
No one's sadder to see it go than Aaron Morgan. His son Declan attended the Miriam High Special Needs Centre as a toddler.
And these people have got experience and empathy with you as well, so it really helped both parties, not only the children but also the parents.
At its peak, the centre had around 60 children in the classrooms, but changes to the NDIS, a drop in student numbers and escalating operating costs, forcing council to make the difficult decision.
If people aren't using it for perhaps a very good reason that they're getting the service elsewhere, then council's not really in a position to continue to fund it.
Early last year, the council had opened expressions of interest to take over the service, but it failed to garner any realistic propositions. Some are now worried the closure will create a gap for young Port Augusta families in the disability sector.
It's a little bit different if you're down in Adelaide. There's a lot more services and facilities available, but in the country we don't have that. So this is the best that we had, and now unfortunately it's gone.
But the council says more than half the students will graduate into kindergarten next year, and it's working with the remaining families to transition into other services. And it's leaving the door ajar for Miriam High to one day open again in private hands.
There are people perhaps better equipped, or other agencies who'd step into that space if there was a change in the future.
Garth Burley, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Plans to search for oil and gas in the Great Australian Bight won't go ahead next month. Exploration company PGS was granted approval to conduct seismic testing by the national regulator in January, but the project has since been put on hold after investors pulled funding from the program. Environment groups are celebrating the delay, saying seismic testing will damage the fragile ecosystem. Businesses from the mining and resources sector have gathered in Port Pirie today for the 15th Global Maintenance Conference. Industry leaders are heralding the event as one of the most important days on the calendar for local suppliers.
One of the region's biggest industry events is attracting a record amount of participants through its doors.
Today at Port Pirie, we've got 451. There's not a spare bed within a 60-kilometre radius.
I end up having to park around the next block, and I mean that's just fantastic, exciting for us.
The Global Maintenance Conference beginning its stacked 2-day schedule today, shining a light on regional South Australia's booming mining and resources sector.
This is an amazing conference. It's regional. You'll see just by how many people are here today how exciting it is and how important it is for the region.
And with more than 50 small and medium-sized businesses from around the state opening shop fronts, industry leaders say they're the conference's biggest beneficiaries.
For them to be here, connecting with the major companies is a fantastic opportunity for them.
It's the best way to catch up with your clients, your customers, and really just keep those relationships alive.
Offering everything from large-scale dust solutions...
Yeah, big mines, yeah, where dust could be an issue underground.
...to machinery hire and skills training.
South Australia is on the move, and making sure that people are compliant and suitably trained is vital to that moving forward.
Some of the biggest players in the industry giving updates about their latest projects, with Premier Stephen Marshall just one in a list of dignitaries also in attendance.
This is the largest regional conference held in South Australia of this type, and it's now the largest in Australia.
The conference will continue tomorrow. Garth Burley, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Port Lincoln's runaway brides have returned from their 8-day adventure as part of this year's Variety Bash. The team winning several top awards for their fundraising efforts, with more than $100,000 raised.
Crossing the finish line with the beats blaring. The runaway brides ending their 8-day, 3,000-kilometre journey around South Australia and New South Wales.
We had so much fun on the bash, but we were overjoyed and really grateful to have been awarded Best Bashers as well. So we couldn't believe it. It's something that goes to the legends of the game.
The brides running away with several trophies, including the Variety Bash outright winners, taking home the award for their fundraising efforts and antics in the Red Centre.
At one point, just after we'd had babies, we ribboned every car and we invited everyone to the wedding party and said that if they didn't keep the ribbon on their car, they couldn't come.
The brides tuning up their own theme song, singing along the way.
So the start of the bash, we were very excited and we're the 4 best friends that anyone could have. And then by the end of it, we're the 4 best friends that anyone could have.
Over the past year, the ladies in white have raised an incredible $105,000 for Variety SA, placing the team as the 3rd highest fundraisers for the year.
When you get along there and you hand over not just the grants but the machines and the equipment to these families, and you see the children, you see the families who it means so much to, it really makes it all the hard work worth it.
Boss bride Emma Pedler will step down next year, with Sandra Lucan taking over as top bride. With an empty seat in the car, all eyes will be on the lucky one who catches the bouquet.
There is a seat in the car, but certainly with Deb and Sandra and Emma in the car, who knows who'll be in there.
Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Still to come tonight, Bookworms turn out for Book Week. Students and teachers embracing this year's unique theme. And Broken Hill Tennis returns with first rounds kicking off from tonight. Welcome back. Students from across the region are celebrating this year's Book Week with the unique theme, Reading is My Superpower. While teachers say it's a fun way to explore educational novels and the students are lapping it up.
Students dressing in an array of costumes to celebrate their favourite books, all part of a colourful morning at Samaritan College.
With different activities relating to different books that have been chosen as shortlisted books for the awards.
Students are advised to be creative with this year's theme, Reading is My Superpower.
Lots of children who have come dressed as super heroes, and lots of people who are showing their amazing superpower of reading as well.
Some senior primary students excited to dress up for their last parade.
We're all year 6s and we decided to all go as something big since it's our last year.
I'm dressed up as a crayon and I thought it would just be something fun to really stand for your last book week.
Teachers say although it's a fun occasion, there is lots of educational activities throughout the week.
It's just a special celebration that helps get kids engaged with reading. It's not always something they want to do, so this is a great way of getting them interested and excited about reading.
The program will be continuing for the week and parents are encouraged to get involved.
Because reading is really important for children. It's really important to read to children from a really young age and for children to enjoy reading.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Broken Hill Police are preparing to increase their presence over the coming weeks with the city to host a number of major events. They're issuing multiple warnings in the wake of recent thefts and fake money being used in the town.
On the roads, in our pubs, out in the crowd.
Police are going to be out and about. We love, to have a good time just as much as anyone, and we love all the festivities that are going on, but we need to make sure that everybody's enjoying them.
Broken Hill Police are gearing up for a busy September with a footy grand final, the Heel Festival, the Silver City Show and the start of school holidays. With a lot of people having a good time, police wanting it all to be safe.
If you are drinking, please don't drive. Drugs, don't drive either. If you're in a licensed premises, make sure that if you're told to leave or you've been cut off that you leave.
Meeting with local event committees is a vital part of their job. First up, AFL Broken Hill.
For the patrons is they have a great day and they all leave the venue in a safe manner and they get home safely. So that's our major concern. We've been working with the police now for a number of years on this.
Police also issuing warnings to local businesses about counterfeit bills that have been used in town. With a longer look, the fakes are obvious, but during a quick transaction, you can get caught out.
Pay attention to the money when they're exchanging money with others, making sure that it is correct, that it does have those safety features on it.
Locals are reminded that leaving valuables in the car can be a risk for potential thieves. Police say stealing from motor vehicles is an opportunistic crime which can be prevented.
Hide it in the car if you can't take it with you. Make sure you lock the car. We get a lot of people that have the car in the driveway and just forget to lock them. So, yeah, make sure you lock it, take things with you.
Patrick Reinke, 7 Spencer Golf News.
A Port Lincoln teenager has fundraised more than $1,000 to buy a defibrillator for his local community. The life-saving device will be installed at Drake's Foodland.
At just 15 years old, Tyreen Gardner is making a difference to his hometown. The St John's Ambulance volunteer purchasing a defib for the Port Lincoln community.
Today I am presenting a public access defibrillator that I've been fundraising for the past 6 months now with the help of the Port Lincoln St John Division.
The young cadet fundraising over $1,000 to purchase the defib, community donations helping turn his life-saving dream into a reality.
We raised the money through sausage sizzles at Woolies, donations from the public, and we had about 4 or 5 sausage sizzles over the past 5 or 6 months, which has helped.
Tyreen originally decided to install the machine at Woolworths, but after the shopping giant received its own defib from a national rollout, he chose Drake's Foodland instead.
I chose here because the nearest one's Woolies, and they don't have one down here. They've got a lot of pensioners and elderly that come through here, and a lot of at-risk people.
It's very exciting. Obviously it's a very necessary piece of equipment to have around the place these days, so it's quite an honour to be gifted, the young lad's hard work that he's put into it all.
The device will be located near the entrance of the store, ready to be used in case of an emergency. Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Broken Hill's tennis players will be rejoicing tonight as the local spring competitions get underway. The sport has seen a surge in numbers for its A-grade season, with a new game format having to be created.
Soon to be in full swing.
Tennis is a great sport to play. It's a fun night.
Tonight we'll see the start of Broken Hill's Division 1 competition before Open A grade commences tomorrow. For many it's a chance to dust off the cobwebs, but for those who played through the winter it's business as usual.
I think the atmosphere here is amazing. There's nothing to limit our facilities that we have. The facilities are fantastic.
A new team format had to be created to accommodate the boost in A-grade numbers this season. 21 players have put their names down for Thursday nights, the most the association president has seen in a long time.
There is a few stepping up, and that's good to see. We do need more to step up, and hopefully with this 3-team or 3-player format, we will get more players to come in.
There will be 7 3-player teams in the comp, with one side having the bye each week. In the past, it's only been 2-player pairings. While one player plays singles, the other 2 will play doubles. Corey excited to try it out.
The bit that I like more so is that you're playing 2 different sets of doubles. You're not playing the same double twice. So I think that's worth noting.
6 of the local courts recently underwent a resurfacing with synthetic grass. The association is looking to upgrade the lighting for the rejuvenated courts, applying for state funding. They're hoping more players come to use the complex, reminding those interested that it's open to all.
We've got the best complex around country New South Wales or country Australia, so we really need tennis players to be here to use the facility.
Patrick Reinke, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us. After the break, we'll have the latest fuel prices and the weather details with Britt. Hello again. Now to see how things are shaping up when we head to the Bowser. Here's Patrick Reinke in Broken Hill with this week's Fuel Watch.
It's been a mixed bag in the regional petrol prices this week. A couple of townships are on the way down, some have gone up, while others have stayed put. Starting with unleaded, and Port Lincoln has seen the biggest move of any place in the Spencer Gulf. Motorists there are paying $1.43 after the price jumped by 4 cents. While it continues to revel in its decreasing average, the Steel City is forking out about $1.35 a litre. Some places are doing it for cheaper. Port Augusta is out of the 140s and has gone down by a cent. Kadina is around the same. Both towns are on $1.39. Port Pirie is a little cheaper than that, while Broken Hill has seen no movement this week. The Silver City breaking even on 147. Adelaide has started the cycle once again, skyrocketing from 128 back up to 157. Turning over to diesel now, and no place has seen any upward movement. A good week for all. Port Lincoln is down by 2 cents and joins Whyalla and Kadina on 149. Port Pirie has gone down by about a cent to hit 147. Broken Hill is paying the most on the board at $1.53. Adelaide is down to 142. Finishing off with a look at Autogas, and there's been a bit of movement this week. Port Lincoln has had a very bad week though, jumping up by 3 cents to 92 a litre. Whyalla has also seen red, but still hovers on 93. Port Pirie is now down into the 70s after experiencing a 4 cent decline. Port Augusta and Kadina are both even Steven. Broken Hill is paying about 88 cents. Adelaide rounds out the board, still on 77. Now remember that these prices are the regional averages and they do not reflect any one particular outlet. And if you do find a spot that does sell unleaded, auto gas or diesel for cheaper, be sure to let us know on our Facebook page.
Now for a look at the week's weather, here's Britt Aylen.
Thanks, Louise, and good evening. It's been another day of maximum temperatures in the mid to late teens, with showers about the mid-north, the lower Eyre Peninsula and Adelaide. Port Augusta reached 19 degrees today, Whyalla and Broken Hill 18, Port Lincoln 17, Port Pirie 16, Adelaide with a top of 15 degrees. From the satellite, low cloud over our region causing a few showers. Moving ahead to tomorrow, on the waters, southwesterly winds at 15 to 20 knots with seas at 1 metre. The sun will rise at 6:52 in the morning with sunset just after 10 to 6. We can expect dry but mostly cloudy conditions across the region, with temperatures similar to today. Port Augusta and Woodner with tops of 18, Whyalla, Corn and Broken Hill and Port Pirie all looking at 17 degrees, Port Lincoln, Cleve and Kadina 16, Adelaide 15, Coffin Bay 14, Clare 13. Looking further through the week now, Port Lincoln partly cloudy Friday and Saturday with showers expected on Sunday, Cleve sunny on Friday, fine on Saturday with showers on Sunday, Woodner sunny on Friday with fine conditions across the weekend. Whyalla and Port Augusta both bright and sunny on Friday ahead of a partly cloudy weekend, Kadina looking fine Friday through Sunday. A sunny Friday at Port Pirie, looking fine across the weekend. Clare with sunny conditions on Friday, a partly cloudy Saturday and showers on Sunday. And finally, Broken Hill partly cloudy on Friday, sunny on Saturday and fine on Sunday. And with that, Louise, it's the end of the forecast. Back to you.
Wonderful, thank you for that, Britt. And that's your local news this Wednesday evening. Thank you for joining us today. We'll have updates later, but until then, enjoy your evening. Good night.